Howdy there, folks! How are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and welcome back to our Tekkit 2 Let's Play Adventure. Welcome back to another mini-sode, where today we have hopped back in, and I do have one quick thing to show you before we get started with the meat of the episode. You might remember we had a bunch of butterflies stuck down here. Well, I wanted to make the place a little bit more habitable for them, so I added a nice little garden here with some water and some lights and some flowers, and I mean, I don't know if they're doing any better, but over here we can see that one is currently hanging out with the good pig Prescott, and we've got an even bigger garden over here. Hello, Prescott, how are you doing? Where's our chicken friend? Well, Prescott Pig, you take care. I don't know if the butterflies like it in here or if they'd rather leave. Actually, where is the chicken, though? This is concerning. I have not done anything to the chicken. The chicken should just be in here. I don't know where it would have gone. I suppose it's always possible that it's around here, like, nesting? Getting ready to lay more eggs? I'm actually really confused! This isn't a bit! This isn't a setup! I don't know where the chicken is! Where's the chicken gone? Oh my god, ignore the chicken in the... It's not... No, we've had that for a while. I promise, it's unrelated. I guess they could have left the basement, couldn't they? Now that there's stairs, they could have come up here. Carl? Carl, where are you? This is so weird. I have no idea where Carl is. I'm sorry. I promise this isn't some weird bit. Well, anyway, we are going to carry on without Carl and hope that he is well. Today, you know, our armor took a beating last time. I never did end up getting the... Wait, why is my armor gone right now? Has my armor been broken for a long time? I assumed that it went out in the explosion. But remember, we reloaded the save before the explosion. So where's my... There it is. So you're telling me we survived the nuke without the armor? I'm deeply confused. Oh well, that doesn't change the goal of the episode, which is to build Nano Armor. Now, there is a better set of armor that we can get called Quantum Armor, and in fact, we have so much dark matter now that we could just skip to building dark matter or red matter armor. I mean, this is all actually a bit silly, the idea of building Nano Armor, but I've always liked Nano Armor. I think it looks good, and it offers some pretty decent protection, so I think we're going to go ahead and build that. I'm really not looking to delve into the infinite money pit unless we really need to. The infinite EMC, you know, EMC is the currency of the world. We will eventually, but for right now, Nanosuit. The Nanosuit is your first and basic set of power armor in Industrial Craft Classic. I'm reading this off the wiki. It is unbreakable in EU-powered armor, which provides you protection as long as it has energy in it. And as long as it's powered, it will take 90% of damage from you, and it will absorb any fall damage as long as the damage is below 4 hearts of health. Anything above that will only absorb 87.5% of fall damage. Okay, well that's not a big deal. One thing to note is that if you get struck by lightning while wearing it, it'll fully charge your suit unless you're flying, in which case it'll kill you instantly. So not great, but I've never been struck by lightning in Minecraft, I think, ever, so I'm not too concerned with it, unless it's going to increase the likelihood of that happening. I don't know. But it's pretty fun armor. It looks really cool. We're also going to be building a charge pad for it, and then we've got 2 other items here I want to talk about at the end of the episode. We're not going to worry about those, but I was looking at these things because I know that they're used in the recipes to build the quantum armor, which is better overall armor, really. Feeds you if you have filled tin cans, removes wither radiation poison effects from you, provides air to you when air is low. I get maybe underwater, I don't know, maybe that works on the moon, that would be cool. But I also noticed other things like this, like night vision goggles. What? Does that get rid of the nano, or does it just add night vision, gives the ability to see in the dark? We got one here that's, I can't actually tell, it just adds an EU reader, I guess, which we need to build also for an unrelated thing in the future. Go ahead and add that one up there, too. And then there's this one. This one adds a crop analyzer, a thermometer. This one just turns it into an advanced solar helmet. So what I'm trying to get at here is we might need this for other things in the future anyway. But let's get started. In order to build one of these, we will need carbon plate, energy crystal, and light gray stained glass. But actually, it's any type of glass. It doesn't need to be that specifically. As you can see, it's cycling through it. Then it's pretty much very similar for everything else. And we're also going to be building a Nano Saber, which is a really cool sword. And we'll talk more about that once we've built it. First things first, we need to head over here. And yes, good. All of my refined iron is done cooking up. Now, we're going to throw in blocks of coal. And the reason we're going to do blocks of coal is each one block of coal will give us 9 coal dust. And that was supposed to coincide, like the end of that sentence, with this being finished, but I forgot it'll auto-output over here. But we will get the same effect here in a moment. Why is this still happening? Why is that going up? Oh, that's happening over here. Okay, no, so it's not finished. That's still going on. I don't know why I thought that would be coming out of the... It doesn't matter, but we need the coal dust because we've got to take the coal dust and turn it into a little raw carbon fiber and turn that into the raw carbon mesh. And then we need to take the raw carbon mesh and we need to run it through our compressor, which is still making... We don't need... you know what? We're good on a lot of these things, actually. If you could... Let's go ahead and we'll shift focus for right now. You calm down there. But once all of these are done cooking up, all of these raw carbon meshes are finished cooking, they will produce the carbon plates that we need. So while that's happening and the moon rises in the background, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab 5 diamonds, and I think 40 redstone is what we're going to need, but I'm going to grab a whole stack, and we're going to make our energy crystals, which are not new to us. We've made a number of these before, but we will need 1 each for the boots, the leggings, the body armor, and the helmet. I wonder if there are things you can do with the other pieces of armor. I didn't even check. So, obviously, we can use that to create quantum body armor, or we can create an advanced nano chest plate that looks like it's got a compact jetpack installed, which I assume means that we can fly. Yeah, we can fly. Switch between fly modes, all of that. Well, we've got a pretty cool ring, so we don't really need that. That's the problem with a lot of this armor, is it's described, literally on the wiki, the Nano Armor is described as early game. And I think we're still potentially early game, maybe early mid-game, and we have enough EMC to build armor from Project E. And that's the problem when you have both of these mods, is that you don't really need to choose. It's not really a choice over which one to go to, I guess is maybe a better way of phrasing it, because one is just, in so many ways, objectively better, and it almost feels silly right now to be using the Nano Armor over the Dark Matter Armor, you know, but I like the look of the armor. We're gonna do it. You can't stop me. If anyone out there is like, you gotta stop! I'm commenting on the video! Don't do it! It's a mistake! I don't know why I'm defending this decision as if there's going to be outrage over it. I genuinely cannot imagine any of you caring that I'm doing this. If you do, I would like to just go ahead and let you know that in the future, we will be building other armors, right? So don't worry about it, I guess. A lot of these recipes you can just kind of guess at, and you will more than likely get them correct. Yeah, there we go. So there's our full suit of armor, and we can stick it on, but because... Oh, yeah, it looks so good! It looks so good! I love it so much. Keep in mind, this has to be charged before it is effective. And to charge it, what we could do is we could go put it all in an MSFU, an MFE, a PESU. We'll get to that later. But what I'd actually like to do... Oh, I forgot to build the sword. We'll do that. I want to build a Lapotronic Charge Pad, which, as I understand it, we just stand on it and it charges up our armor. There's also an upgraded one called a Fission Charge Pad. It does require the Lapotronic Charge Pad, as well as whatever these things are. I've never built them before. A nuclear reactor, we've built one of those once upon a time. Might be a little bit too long, because for those of you who haven't figured this out yet after the last video that came out, when I call these Tekkit Minis, it doesn't necessarily mean that the videos are going to be short. They might be, but what I'm actually referring to is the fact that I'm trying to record them quickly, because I have very little time to record them. So it's less so about... Yeah, look, there we go. All right, carbon plates... Advanced alloy, we've been through that a few times. Glowstone. Nano Saber. It needs to be charged up as well. Swing, swing. I think you have to turn this one on once it has power. It's less so about the length of the videos and more so about the length of time necessary to make them. And that is what I'm referring to with the mini title. Also, hot dang, there are so many energy crystals I forgot that I made for recipes. This is good, though! This is good, though, because this is going to require... well, no, it's not. But this, though, is going to require... I got some of these and some of these, and then I got a whole lot of these. And the real reason we want this is just so we can charge it by standing on it. I think it has its own energy storage as well. That's why it has to have an MFSU. Seems cool. We're actually going to need 4 more of these, because the MSFU requires an MFE and an advanced machine block. And the MFE requires 4 more of those, and the advanced machine block doesn't. I don't even know why I mentioned it, as though that was an additional reason we would... whatever. I don't believe, and feel free, and actually I encourage you to correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not believe that this pack has any sort of item management or sorting outside of setting up something to sort objects into chests for you. I mean something more like refined storage or something along those lines. That would be extremely handy, and I do not think that it is present in this pack, which is very unfortunate, because something like that would make crafting a lot of these items a lot faster and easier. Like when I already have a bunch of these cables made and a lot of these energy crystals made, it's just a matter of going and finding them to build my MFE. I would prefer if I could, you know, pull them all in, but I've searched for refined storage. It's obviously not in this pack, and there's nothing else really like it either. So, at least not that I've seen. Correct me again if I am wrong. It will be appreciated. Your corrections will be very much thank you'd. And I guess that's something else to say real quick, is that I really do appreciate a lot of the tips and suggestions I've been getting. I know I haven't brought a lot of them up, but that's another mini-sode we have planned, is to just go through a list of a ton of the different things that you fine folks out there have been recommending for me to try. I'm probably going to have an entire episode dedicated to just testing out different comments and suggestions and recommendations. So I need 6 of those, and I have enough to make 3. And the next thing we will need is going to be more of these. Oh, well, I have enough to make 4, but we're going to need more electronic circuits. Sun's coming up, folks. Sun is coming up. This is an involved process from the looks of things. But there are our Laptron crystals, all 6 of them. And there is an MSFU. That is the 3rd one of those I've built for this series. The last object that we need is, funnily enough, super basic, and I've just not built one yet. It is a stone pressure plate. So we'll toss that into the system, and then we will... we should have had 2 of those. Oh, I used one for the MSFU. Obviously. Don't look at me like that, Mr. Creeper. Don't sneak up at me and stare at me like that, like you're gonna get me. You have no power here. I'm on the inside where it's safe. There we go. Finally, at long last, MSFU, couple of advanced circuits, and some carbon plating, along with a stone pressure plate, I guess, to activate it. It makes sense. You activate it by standing on it. It would need a pressure plate. There's nothing weird about that. Lapotronic Charge Pad. Now we need to go plug that in, probably from the bottom, although I would imagine we could probably plug it into the side and it would just look ridiculous. But we're going to go plug it in from the bottom, and then the hope is that we just stand on it, and there is a insect of some kind flying towards me. This is real life. I'm not doing a bit. I'm slightly startled. Actually, I'm kind of tempted. I want to test it. Can I just do that? No, of course I can't. That would be ridiculous, and that's okay. We're going to have to plug it in from underneath. So we do have this line coming up from the nuclear reactor, and I suppose we will do that. And I'm going to need more marble to fill all of this in, because I have this thing where I do not fill in holes in the floor with the materials I harvested, so we're not going to put sandstone, of all things, back in there. Why is there sandstone? Oh, you know what? There was a little pond or something up here when we started, wasn't there? Am I imagining that? Oh, well, actually, we're at level with the beach. I keep forgetting that. I keep thinking that the basement is real high up, but the basement is basically level with the ground. And actually, any armies charging from that fortress could just smash through my glass. But it's really good glass. They wouldn't do that. I don't think they could. In any case, I've long lost track of whatever it was I was saying. We'll click that in there. It's starting to fill up. Now, I imagine this is one of those things where if we stand on it right now, it's going to very slowly fill us up because it is charging from the MSFU down here next to the nuclear reactor, which we should probably go check on because I haven't actually checked to see how it's doing. You know what? I was going to say maybe Carl came down here, but I don't see Carl down here either. Carl's missing, and it's concerning. So that up there is charging up, though, from here, and this is not producing enough power. But remember, the whole reason we built this thing was so in the future we can try some experimental stuff. We should add some trees down here. Also, I need to get some cactus green so I can make some proper green-colored lighting. Should we use UU matter for that? Would that be ridiculous? I know that we can, and I have generated some UU matter. There's probably some in here, but also I've been storing it up top here inside of the IC Classic chest. Every so often I'll just make some. So I've got 14, and I know that I can use some to make cactus and sponge as well. But how much is used for cactus? Ooh. 48 cactus, though, and it sure beats having to go find a desert. And it's not, I mean, this is even less cheaty than EMC. I put in a lot of work to make all that stuff, and it takes a ton of juice. And I think we could probably spare 6 of them. You know, to make some cactus? What do you folks? I think it's worth it. We're gonna make a little bit of cactus today. Look at that. No regrets. Put that cactus in there. Take it over here. Do that. That's not what you do with it. What do you do with it? What do you do with a cactus? If I smelt it, it gives me green cactus. I will do that then. Excuse me. Do this. Stop. Stop what you're doing. Okay, continue what you were doing. But look at that. We finally got cactus green. So we can do some green lighting. Very delicately step over here and break these cables. And then we're going to get our saber. We've got all of our discharged and useless armor. It's not charged enough. I want to step on it. Immediately it turns on and starts glowing. And there's a slight charge happening to our suit. It is very slow, even though this... See, I was expecting it would immediately dump all of the energy it had stored into our suit. And then we would just be empty, but that is not what's happening here. What are all these upgrades over here? Is that like a wireless charge? Hold on. Is that a thing that we can make? Is there some sort of a wireless upgrade? I just assumed that based on what this looked like. And it doesn't look like that's actually the case. But I want to check at... Oh, you know what? Why is my sword not charging? Do I need to be holding it properly? Oh. Interesting. So this is all full now. And it looks like it's only going to charge the item you're currently holding in your hand, which is what it is, I guess. See, I was hoping I could just, like, page through here and find something about a wireless upgrade. Maybe we should just look up the charge pad. That might make sense. Lecture tools and armor. Charge pads come in 4 levels. When a player stands on a charge pad, the pad will transmit its stored energy. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so there's a proximity booster module that will cause the charge pad to charge equipped items and any items adjacent to the item in the player's hotbar. The wideband booster module will allow the pad to charge anywhere in the player's hotbar, but not the rest of the inventory. That is unfortunate. Oh, interesting. You can add a damage conversion module that'll change it into a shocking pad, which sounds fun. Now let's talk Nano Saber. So you right-click to turn it on and off. When it is off, it'll increase your damage by +3, and when it is on, it's +19. And every tick consumes, or every hit, I should say, consumes 40 EU per tick. Also, when it's activated, it consumes 1 EU per tick, but in, like, bursts. So not every tick does it actually consume 1. It like, waits a while and it consumes them all in one go. Let's go avoid that. Let's see, what can we do? I mean, I don't want to kill the harmless animal. Carl? Not Carl. Here we go. Crabs. There's so many of them. This will make the perfect example. So there it is, just normally. Not activated. And then activated. Yeah, baby! Look at us go! We're absolutely crushing them! We're doing what Plankton never could! Alright, but I want to go fight some monsters. Some real, proper monsters. So let's go to the Nether. And keep in mind, this Nether has never experienced a nuclear disaster. Because we reloaded the save. Oh, and yet this one's still kind of broken. We're good. Where are the pigmen? For I much desire to slaughter them. There's a blaze. That'll be perfect. Hold still, you. Oh, you can't hurt me, pal. I mean, I'm not invincible. It could hurt me. Look at that. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't even care anymore. We can just... Okay, so it's not a one-hit kill on the big ones or the little ones. But still, I mean, we're dealing significant damage. What, there's little dogs in here now? Also, it seems to reload quite fast. So you can't necessarily spam click. Oh, actually, yeah, it looks like you could spam click. Whoa! Easy does it there. I've been wanting to kill one of these for a while to get a gas tier. There might be other ways to get a gas tier. But, you know, I'm sure we can craft one out of UU matter or something along those lines. Get out of here, you! Get out of here! Let's see here, let's see here. What have we got, what have we got? If we fly back to the base and then go straight, we'll end up at another fortress. And that could be great fun. Oh, a terrible fortress indeed, and terrible fortress indeed. We're gonna have to get a wither at some point. Oh my gosh. Look, we found one. I mean, not a wither, but like a wither skeleton. And hopefully, I mean, I wonder if they're super rare drop, or whatever it is. It just has, like, an EMC value. That would be swell. Now, fun fact for you, we can build this sort of electronic enchanter, and it can be used to upgrade the armor even further by, you know, applying enchantments, which is a good time. I am not even here for y'all right now. I am here for other creatures. I'm sorry I killed your kin. Not really. You're not getting remorse out of me for this. Apparently people call these piglins now. That's weird. Don't like it. Oh my gosh, we got one! Spooky, scary skeleton. Has no EMC value. Get out of here. Go away. Of course it doesn't have an EMC value. That would make the game too easy, wouldn't it? How much you want to bet the wither doodah that you get as well? I forgot what it's called. Ah, the nether star. It does. So we only ever have to fight one wither. That's good. Alright, I've had enough fun in the nether for today. It's time to head home. Why does this keep happening? Is this a 1.0.5 thing? Oh, jeez! I thought that all these problems were from the corruption of the nuking. Apparently not. Apparently the game's just slightly broken. Nether wart, horse iron armor, regular saddle, another bit of all these random things. Crab leg. Is crab leg delicious? I can cook it. Can it. When you're done doing whatever you're doing now, cook crab leg. Thank you. I still want to know where my chicken went. Still deeply concerned about this mystery. So I was going to upgrade, I was actually going to go ahead and upgrade to the Fission Charge Pad, because I did not think that the recipe looked too complicated or difficult, and we could definitely do it. But from my reading, and I might be wrong about this, but it doesn't really look like it speeds it up any. Maybe if you have it plugged into EV, because the Fission one can be plugged directly into extreme voltage, but I'm not running an additional cable from the reactor just for that, so we're going to hold on to that one. I added this because it converts industrial craft electricity into railcraft charge, which I thought might be what we need for the giant crusher we built, so that's something to look at in the future episode. Someone commented about this, the PESU, the P-E-S-U. This is apparently the top-end energy storage device, and it can take the top end of electrical charge going into it, but, I mean, we're not going to be building one of these for a while, because some of the stuff it requires, I have to build a plasma fire with UU matter, or use UU matter in a plasma fire. I've got to build magnets, I got to have an electrolyzer, I got to compress rare earth dust that you get from rare earth extraction. It's not something we're doing today. So, my apologies, but we'll get around to it. As for the quantum armor, the reason we're not actually building it today, and I feel like maybe I should have opened with this, is that it requires iridium, which requires UU matter. A lot of it. I mean, just this helmet here is going to require, what, 4? Oh, I'm sorry, that's just to build 1 iridium plate, and we need 2. Yeah, we don't have enough UU matter. We're going to have to get more electricity for that. But that is it for today's installment. We've got a really cool weapon now. We got some better armor. And we've done a number on the pigmen. Hopefully they don't hold grudges. Thank you folks for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you later. Bye!